Hey, good afternoon. This is Rich from Tennessee Homestead. How the heck are you today? This little short video is going to be for a subscriber that asked about the little chicken that about lost its leg. Well, it did lose its leg. It was just hanging on with a little piece of flesh. Back a while back that the wife and I had split it and played veterinarian with. We've moved him over here with some of his siblings and the cuckoo Marans, which I got to tell you, these birds live up to their name. Little nuts. There's one of his siblings right there. That's one of the. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, this one right here, that's Little Peeper. He's the one that picked that hole in the shell to say, "Hey, we're still alive. We're wanting to. We want to survive." So there's Little Beeper, and doing real well. So he's back with the eggs that got saved. For you folks that don't know the story, we had a chicken go broody. We nicknamed her Broody Mama, and she hatched out some chicks and got off the nest, and almost threw the eggs away. And Little Peeper over there pecked a hole in the shell and started peeping at me. And it's like, okie dokie. So we'd candled the rest of the eggs, and the ones that looked like they were still viable, we went ahead and put in the incubator. Now, the problem with that was that we had an incubation underway, and we have an automatic turner. Not a good combination for chicks to be out walking around on. So we was trying to keep an eyeball on them, and then as we'd see one of them hatch, we'd get it out of there so they didn't get crushed by the turner. Anyway, this little roo, which I've been calling a hen forever and ever, right there, got its foot almost cut off in that automatic turner. And as you can see, he's so crippled up. We splinted the leg. We battled infections. We've, went through all sorts with this little guy. And by golly, I moved him back over here with these cuckoos and his siblings, the other abandoned eggs. Will you quit running around? So that he had some company, because I use the term herding animals, but actually flocking animals. So when it comes to chickens, they do better in a group and becoming part of a group. They get a lot happier. Anyway, there he is. That's another one of his siblings. We'd gotten some chicks out of the whole mess, and it just amazes me because honestly, if it wasn't for Little Peeper, that little guy right there, which I actually think's a girl, but that little Peeper kind of stood up and said, "Hey, I'm alive." So it was kind of a moving story up to the point of, and we'd there he is. Okay. We had stuck a name on him when we thought it was a her. So we're going to have to come up with another name for him now that I got a good hard look at him, and this boy is definitely a roo, and a good looking one to boot. He likes to come over and visit. He thinks he's a pet. Yes, he does. And realistically, he is. But as you can see, he's up or about, moving around real well. Doesn't have many problems with that thing. Matter of fact, we had a veterinary assistant that's worked for a vet for a number of years. She stopped by and took a look at him and kind of chuckled. She said, everything that you and your wife has done, if you'd have brought the bird into the office, you know, we could have done that for, you know, did the same thing and charged you $150 for it. Kind of laughed. She said it turned out really well. And it's like, well, yeah, that'd have been a gold-plated chicken right there. First $150 lavender opening bin you ever run across. But anyway, he's doing good. He's up, he's scratching, he's pecking, he's using his leg. Hasn't been really challenged by the cuckoos too much. One of them got a little testy with him when we first put him in, and he got testy right back. So they pretty much leave him alone and accepted him in. And like I said, he's got brothers and sisters in here. So, you know, that's a good thing. But he's doing well. Beautiful bird. Matter of fact, I've been looking at his coloration and so forth, and this little guy's got potential as a breeding brew if he's a fertile rooster. So that'll be a good thing for him. But yeah, he's got good colors. So anyway, that and hopefully answers the question to that little guy. It amazed me. The only thing I can attribute it to is, one, the Lord had his hand on this little bird, and two, he had a real rapid, heavy growth spurt, which roos do. You know, they'll get large quick, and that probably helped in the healing process. So I'm impressed with him. Like I said, this bird, man, you know, a day before his hatch, his mother had gotten up off of him and walked off, and you know, it was cool weather, and you know, he's just a survivor. And I hope he takes good care of his sibling over here, a little peeper. Nope, that's not Little Peeper. Little Peeper's over, yeah, somewhere around here. Oh, yeah, right down here. He owes Little Peeper a debt of gratitude because a little bird saved his life. Anyway, this was the pen that we had. Our second hen that went broody and her chicks. And that we ended up taking away and putting in a brooder because she kept digging underneath this little makeshift pen trying to get out to go free range, and what ended up happening was one of the chicks was able to get through a hole she created and ran right into a flock of hens. It was not a pretty scene. And so with that, I decided that's it. Put Mama Hen back in with the flock and put the remaining 4 chicks in a brooder and said that's enough. So, you know, I understand the nature of the bird. It's a free-ranging bird. It wants to be out and free. You know, she could have easily flew over the fence, but she wanted to take those chicks with her, of course. So she had to go under. And, you know, out of 7 chicks, only 4 survived, so I thought that was just a little bit high mortality rate to continue to allow her to do that. So we moved them along. Anyway, that little red sex link you see there, she was another rescue chick that they gave me down at work. That somebody, when she was, I guess she's probably 2 days old, something like that, she just came into the store, set a full of water down on top of her, and didn't discover it for 8 to 12 hours. So she, I wish I could say was just fine. Little bird's just not 100%. She kind of walks a little funny. I don't think her vision's quite up to par. These cuckoos are just ornery. But you know, she's able to hunt and peck. I've thrown scratch to her and so forth, and she finds it and gets into it. And So I don't think her vision's totally gone, but I think one eye, her vision's kind of shot. But, you know, I think she's going to be able to function as a chicken. And as long as she can function as a chicken, I think, you know, after being nearly crushed with the water, little girl deserves a chance anyway. But, yeah, she's doing real good. Like I said, that is the story of these chickens that we've been nursing. These guys, man, I'll tell you what, these cuckoos and the other birds have had to get into it. You give them their daily feed, and these cuckoos try to eat it all in one setting. And they will literally empty out the feeder. And the other birds, of course, in competition, they get in there, and it's just a struggle. And it's like, guys, you know, slow down, pace yourselves, because that's it for the day. You know, and but they do it. Crazy little birds. Matter of fact, I get a kick out of it. They all like to roost right up here on this thing here. The cuckoos do. And as you can see, where that board comes out on the wall, you know, these birds could virtually step over this fence, and they don't. But that's where they like to roost. Crazy. But they're pretty birds. They're a little skittish. That's the only thing I can say about the cuckoo Marans. This group is a little skittish. But like I said, this fella right down there, I'm just so proud of him. He's done a great job. Man, I kept checking him for the longest time, thinking, well, is today the day we're going to have to cull this little bird out? And you talk about a fighter and a survivor. This guy's it. So anyway, this is getting a little bit long, but that brings you up to date on Broodie's mama's abandoned eggs and the little chick and the second chicken that we had to take the hatching away from her, and of course the star of the show, little Peeper over there. I'll tell you what, he gave me a lesson in slow down and pay attention. Because, man, I'll tell you what, when I started picking up those eggs to discard them, they were ice cold, folks. I mean, ice cold. They had been laying there for at least 8 or 9 hours, you know, with no hen on them. It was a cold day, and like I said, I started picking them up, and he had pecked a hole in his shell, and as I'm picking the egg up out of the nest, he started chirping, and led to us being able to save 4 birds, including this little guy down here, although he made us work a little harder for his recovery, but I'm happy, and he seems to be real happy. You know, it's a funny thing that I noticed. He has been away from his siblings for quite a while, and as you can see, another reason I think he's a roo is because if you will look at his size compared to his sister over there, this bird is, you know, twice the size. So, and same feed, folks. We don't, you know, even though, okay, I take that back. Somebody had broke a bag of mealworms at work, and I put some in a little Ziploc bag and brought home, and yep, he got them. So he did get a few mealworms out of the deal, above and beyond, but I figured with all this little bird had been through, and was going through at the time, a little extra treat was well in line. So anyway, that's it. Cuckoo Marans are doing good. The Broody Mama's eggs turned out okay. The 4 of them that were still viable, all hatched. And the little fellow that he really did lose his foot. I mean, there was such a little piece of flesh still hanging on there. It was amazing. If somebody would have asked me, I'd have had to come and say there's no way that you're going to be able to fix that bird's leg. And I don't think I did. I think the efforts of me and my wife was greatly aided by the Lord to kind of show us never give up and keep up the fight when it comes to saving these animals. So that's where we're at. Little Peeper there's checking on his brother, make sure it's okay. Excuse me, I don't know why I keep calling that one a Little Peeper. Little Peeper's over here and could care less. Okay. Well, anyway, this is long. I'll talk to you all later. You have a great day, and I hope this finds you doing well and answered the question of how's that little one-legged chicken doing. There it is, doing just fine. I think here in another 30 days, you'll never know that that bird has ever been hurt. So anyway, y'all have a great day. This is Rich from Tennessee Homestead. Talk to you later.